Thank you for joining me live from the grooming table. Look at you. You've come from all over the world, all over the United States and all over the world. I am so glad you're here. Welcome to Go Groomer on YouTube. I am Amy Lee, certified professional pet groomer since 2003. But it is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the pet grooming industry so you can provide the same level of quality care to your beloved pets as I provide to my client pets and my own pets. Oh my gosh, I just realized I didn't get my plug-in cord. Hold on, this thing's gonna, I got like an ounce of battery left. I'll be right back. Yay! We didn't lose our live stream. Jeez, I'm gonna have to take a sip of water after that. That was the most energy I've exerted in a week. Because I've had COVID since Wednesday. Today was a much better day. For the first time, I really felt pretty good. I'm still a little clogged up and stuff. But other than that, I'm fine. But I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight. Oh, whew, we got power. If this thing runs out of power, it kills the stream. I should know better than that, but I was too excited tonight preparing for this live stream for many reasons. I know this is a big topic, and I wanted to deliver it just perfectly to you tonight, as best as I can. All of my great advice with my years of experience to you, because I want it to benefit you. And another reason why this live stream is kind of a big deal for me and you tonight. Guys, how long have we been getting together here live from the grooming table? Wow, I'd say 6 years at least, right? From this grooming table, this one. So I snapped this photo right before I started. Part of the reason I forgot to plug in my computer. This is the last live from the grooming table from this grooming table. I'm getting a new grooming table and it comes tomorrow on a big, big truck. I cannot wait. I will be filming all that. I'm going to be making a video about retiring this grooming table for my grooming, day-to-day grooming, and why I am incorporating a new grooming table into my life. So I had to share that picture with you because, hey, this is live from the grooming table. This is where all the magic happens. This is where we get together and change things for you and your pets and for groomers and for pet owners all across the land. So it's very appropriate that I shared a picture of the last time I was getting ready to go live from this grooming table. So I'm not going to tell you what grooming table I'm getting. A lot of you know me and you listen and you hear what I'm saying. You probably know what I'm getting. But I gave it a lot of thought, and this is the perfect grooming table for me. Actually, it's the perfect grooming table for anybody that I'm going to be getting because of many reasons that I will be sharing with you. Possibly my next live stream will be about the grooming table. You know, so I can show you all the details and reasons why it's the perfect one for me, and it possibly could be the perfect one for you too. So, but I will be making a video about the table and really bringing you in close. And in the video, I will be retiring this table from my grooming salon. I am not going to get rid of it yet. I have a lot of options, thinking of things that I may want to do with it, but it's one heck of a table. But there's a few reasons why I'm choosing to upgrade this table, and I will be sharing that with you guys. If you watch my Instagrams, I just posted a story over there of why one of the reasons, or a couple of reasons I'm retiring this table. So better things are coming in here. But you know, I have two grooming tables. I have two grooming tables aside from this one. And I never know if there's a possibility of me actually doing any teaching, stuff like that. So if that's the case, I may want to hang on to these grooming tables. But if I find I'm not using them, I will find the right person to give them to, or the right organization to give my grooming tables to. And that is a pretty big possibility. So anyway, I know why you came here tonight. You want to know. I know what you want to know. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. You want to know. I have some great information for you tonight. The topic of tonight's live stream is why your dog hates grooming and how to fix it. And hate's a strong word. I shouldn't say that, but literally I think it's fair to say that some dogs do hate grooming. We could use the word dislike, would rather not, but you know, hate is a real thing for some dogs when it comes to grooming. So I chose to use that word. It's not a nice word. I don't like to use it, but I used it for this scenario because I'm pretty sure when you say dogs that hate grooming, you guys are already thinking of some dogs you know or you work with or that you own that literally do hate grooming. So this topic is going to be wonderful for you. I have some wonderful, wonderful information to share. It's very, very common for dogs to resist grooming, guys, okay? Even if they're okay with grooming, it's still common for them to resist it. So there's ways for us to reel them back in. You know, they may wiggle around, just resisting your touch. Sometimes you touch them, oh no, don't touch me there, right? Sometimes you'll find that they're crying on the grooming table, panting, biting, scratching, spinning circles. And there's even been cases of alligator rolls on the table in the grooming loop. I have experienced that. I've experienced a lot of things. Over 20 years, I wonder how many dogs I've actually groomed. Wow, I got to do that math. So, and because I've groomed a lot of dogs, that's what has taught me a lot of things. And that's what's given me confidence to become a better groomer and to improve my skills. And I'm still improving my skills. I'll never want to stop improving my skills. And you shouldn't either. Never stop. So why do dogs do this? Why do dogs resist? Why do they cry? Right? Why do they, some dogs really get into a panic attack? I mean, it can be bad. That's a bad scenario, and we're going to talk about that. But why do they do it? Understanding why they do it. Understanding that can make grooming easier for both you and the pets that you groom, okay? I think that's important. You got to keep that in the top of your mind tonight. Why do they do it, and how can we understand it better so we can understand and help them? That's the idea. So in this video, I will teach you what I've learned directly from the dogs that I groomed, and through further educating myself with canine behavior, which I still to this day research that topic constantly, canine behavior, so that I can understand better the dogs that I'm working with. But it is very important to understand that I have learned things from the dogs. They taught me, and I'm teaching you tonight. So over the years, I've groomed my fair share of difficult, or we could say resistant dogs, okay, to grooming. I've groomed my share. I'm sure you have too. Now, this is important. If I ignore the signs these dogs give me when they're resisting or being difficult for whatever reason, if I ignore those signs that they're giving me, they're giving it to me, it's a gift, then I'll never have the chance to rehabilitate them. That is absolutely true, and I want you to think about that as you approach moving forward working with dogs that you know are going to be challenging. The number one cause of unwanted behavior during grooming sessions is when a dog is unfamiliar with grooming, and they may also lack socialization, or they may lack socialization and grooming. Both. Boy, that's a recipe for disaster. But what do I mean by this? That is the number one cause of the reason why they misbehave or they're uncooperative. Unfamiliarity with dog grooming and a lack of proper socialization can significantly impact a dog's behavior and stress levels during grooming. That's important to understand. When a dog isn't accustomed to the grooming process, such as being handled, touched, hearing the clippers, hearing the dryers, hearing all the sounds, or feeling water running over their coat, it can lead to confusion, fear, and even resistance, of course, for the dog. That's pretty much what's going to happen when they're unaccustomed to this. They don't know what's going on, and we got to take ourselves back a little bit and try to remember that dogs are canines and that we're humans. And we are structured differently. Okay, we're wired differently. And I want you guys to always remember that when you're working with a dog that is struggling to accept the grooming process. They are not wired the same as us. And I know you know that, but I need you to remind yourself of that when you're dealing with it in the moment. Dogs are not wired like we can't say, hey, look, I'm not going to hurt you. A human gets that. Or maybe even with humans, we say, yeah, but how do I trust you? Okay? That's the same with them too. They're wondering that. There's different ways that we show them they can trust us than we show humans. So always separate yourself. You know, they are canines and we are humans, and we need to really understand that. And if you have a dog that experiences this fear or uncooperative behavior with grooming, then you got to keep watching, because I have some good stuff to share with you. I swear I do. All right. So let's just get back into some more details here. Dogs may perceive grooming as unfamiliar experiences. So anything that gets associated with grooming, they are automatically going to perceive that unless they've been taught that it's okay. Dogs are going to perceive that as unfamiliar experiences. They're going to perceive it as threatening. It can cause anxiety, restlessness, obviously, or even aggression. Sometimes dogs have breakouts into aggression during grooming for it's defensive, you know, just like they would if they were, you know, in a situation that something was threatening them aside from grooming, you know, whether it was another dog or a person or another animal. They're going to become defensive, and they can become aggressive. It's fight or flight, right? For them, they're a canine. So similarly, dogs that haven't been properly socialized to different environments, not just grooming, different environments, people even, they haven't been socialized. So let's think about this. You don't know sometimes the dogs you're working with how well they've been socialized, even with people, let alone a different environment like a grooming salon, or even just being handled. You know, it may be a struggle for them, just that you are that close in an intimate space with them. They may not have been socialized to understand that that's okay. You know, even from their mother, you know, the canine mother teaches them behaviors, so do their litter mates. And Sean, SVCC Schnauzers, Toy Schnauzers in our chat here, knows all about socialization with dogs, and even from the mother and the litter mates. And she knows, I watch her videos, sometimes she lets mom teach a little lesson to a dog. She says, I don't have to teach him. Mom's going to teach him, or the litter mate's going to teach him. Dogs are always learning, especially at a young age, at puppies. They don't know they have to be taught everything, you know. So the first step is with their mother. But another important step with puppies, and not all dogs have the privilege to be properly socialized with humans as a puppy. And it can still happen after you go and pick out a puppy and bring him home. If he wasn't properly socialized, of course you can socialize them. If you watch Sean's channel at SVCC Toy Schnauzers, you'll learn a lot about that. And that's why I think her and my channel really go hand in hand a lot together, because training and grooming, dog behavior and grooming, they go together hand in hand. You have to understand a lot of those things to have some bliss, you know, when it comes to grooming. But, you know, when we're talking about dogs that may not be properly socialized and you don't know it, you know, the owner may not even know it because they really don't really understand much about what that means. You know, so you put a dog on your schedule and you don't know that they haven't been properly socialized. You have to learn the hard way. But we're going to teach you how to work through that. Dogs often have trouble just being, you know, somewhat restrained. They've never had that. They're not even used to being on a leash, possibly. Some of them are going to have trouble being touched in those sensitive areas like their paw pads or their face, and you're not going to know it until you approach that issue, their area. Some of them may not be socialized or not be taught to trust hearing loud noises, you know, clippers, dryers, grooming salon. You know, that can be overwhelming for a dog without any prior positive exposure to those sensations. So you have to keep this in mind when you're working with a dog you haven't worked with before, whether it's a puppy or not. This lack of familiarity, that is a hard word, familiarity, a dog being familiar, I can't even say it, familiarity, that's not even right. The lack of a dog being familiar and socialized often results in definitely heightened stress responses. If they're not familiar with things, they haven't been exposed to things, and they're not properly socialized, they're definitely going to have a problem. They're going to have heightened stress in these situations like grooming, making it difficult for groomers to complete the session efficiently and obviously safely, most importantly safely for the dog. So in contrast to a dog that hasn't been properly socialized, a well-socialized dog, they, you know, have had gradual introductions to grooming tools, to a new groomer, to a person, to being touched, to being handled, to being brushed, to the grooming salon environment. You know, dogs that have been well socialized typically show more comfort and cooperation. They're easier to work with because they have learned to trust, but you still have to build that initial bond with them before you start working. It's so important. Socialization and early exposure to grooming experiences help build a dog's tolerance and trust. There's no doubt. Socialization and early exposure to grooming experiences help build a dog's tolerance and trust, leading to smoother, less stressful grooming sessions for both the dog and the groomer. If this is not your first time here, guys, with me, then you already know that I highly encourage any dog, whether it's a puppy or an adult dog, to be introduced to grooming through a series of short grooming sessions. You've heard me say that a lot. If this isn't your first time here, you've heard me. If it is your first time here, welcome, and now you just heard me say it, that I highly encourage any dog, whether it's a puppy or an adult dog, because some adult dogs have never had grooming until they're adults. I highly encourage them to be introduced to grooming through a series of short grooming sessions. I call it table time. So remember the word table time? Yes, that's what table time is. We do it with our dogs. We're table time, even when we're brushing our dogs on a grooming table. We're giving them table time. We're teaching them. We're desensitizing. We're socializing them. We're exposing them to grooming methods and techniques and tools. It's so important. But I want you to understand that regardless of the age, no dog should be expected to feel safe and secure when it comes to grooming if they have not properly been exposed to it. They shouldn't be expected to feel safe if they haven't had some type of proper introduction. That's important. As groomers, you need to realize that. Now, I know a lot of clients think we work magic and, you know, my dog needs grooming, I take my dog to the groomer. But it's really deeper than that. And you can educate your clients on this too, especially if you're having a dog that you're struggling to work with and you want to work through it with them. So, but what people can do is talk to your groomer, or if you groom your own dog yourself, design a series of short, positive grooming sessions to slowly introduce your dog to the world of grooming, period. That's the first step to socializing a dog, to helping a dog who hates grooming to start to trust it. It's so important. Each one of these short little grooming sessions picks up where the last session left off. Break down one full groom into at least 3 sessions, like every day, a new session, okay? The training needs to come. Brushing and nail trimming can be one little session that you offer a dog that is having trouble or that you've never worked with. You can break a full groom down into 3 days and 3 grooming sessions to help the dog learn to trust the process. If that's what it takes, then that's what you should do. So one session could be brushing and nail trimming, and the next day, you schedule this with the client, is bathing, conditioning, brushing and drying. So we're introducing them to more. And then the third day it could be, we're gonna do clipper work and we're gonna do some scissor work, but we're not asking them to take it all in at once. It can be too much for a dog. And if you're having a big struggle with certain dogs, then you need to take a step back. This is what you have to do. Personally, I prefer to break it down into at least 5 grooming/training sessions before attempting a full groom with any dog, especially a dog that I'm unfamiliar with, or a puppy, because a puppy is unfamiliar with it. But even if somebody calls me and says, I have a rescue dog, they don't really know if the dog was accustomed to grooming or properly socialized with grooming and properly desensitized to grooming tools, methods, and techniques. We don't know it. So why don't we just schedule at least 3 20-minute sessions right away, every day? The dogs are worth it. And I guarantee the owners know their dogs are worth it, okay? So think of it that way. You have to explain to them some of these things that I'm telling you. Dogs are not pre-programmed to be okay with grooming. You can explain this to them, exactly what I'm telling you. You can have them watch this video. So when we break it down into sessions like this, these grooming sessions are frequently scheduled to dish out the different aspects of grooming to a dog in very small doses so they can have a win. And then we move on. They go home. They come back. Tomorrow we do it again, but now we're going to bath. We're going to get in the tub. They've already learned to trust you a little bit. You've done you spend at least 20, 30 minutes with them. I would take 30 minutes at least, guys. You're bonding with them too. They're learning to trust you. Don't have any other grooming going on in your salon. Have it just you and your dog, a one-on-one intimate training session. This is how you teach them to trust you and trust the process. Give it to them in little doses. I'm telling you, this is how you break it down for them and how you work them through it. Small, little, digestible doses of grooming that a dog can comprehend, that they can tolerate, and be ready to learn more during the next grooming/training session. Seriously. What are the signs that a dog is scared or fearful or unpredictable on the grooming table? What does this look like? I do have some pictures here, okay? Let's take a look at this picture and talk, my friends. All right, this dog definitely is showing all the signs. Sean, you're looking at this right now saying, oh, I see it. I see it. Yes, dogs use, this is important. Listen. Bring it in close, guys. Bring it in. You in? Dogs use body language as their primary form of communication. Sean, am I right? She says, amen, sister. Dogs use body language as their primary form of communication. See, that's something us humans, that's different for us. We do use body language, but dogs use it as their primary, that means number 1 form of communication. It's their first line of expressing emotions, intentions, and reactions to their environment. See, that's important. Body language. From tail position, their tail position, which you can clearly see this guy's tail position says, I'm protecting myself. I'm unsure. I feel unsafe. That's what this is saying. Their tail position is body language. Their movements, how they move, how they scurry away, how they pull their body in tight to itself. That's movement. Their movements display their body language. The ear positioning, their ear orientation. Are their ears up? Are they down? Are they pinned against the head? That's body language. Facial expressions, whale-eyed, or showing their teeth. That's a body language expression for a dog. Their posture. That's all body language. Dogs convey a wide range of feelings such as happiness, fear, anxiety, and even excitement through body language. Understanding a dog's body language is key to interpreting their needs and emotions, making interactions safer and more positive. That's important. I'm going to say it again. Understanding a dog's body language is key to interpreting their needs and emotions, making interactions safer and more positive. These are things that I want you to understand before you try to work with a dog or work a dog through issues that they may have with grooming. You need to understand how a dog feels and what their body language says. In dog grooming, reading a dog's body language is crucial for creating a comfortable and stress-free experience. There's no doubt about it. I've learned that directly from the dogs. I pay close attention to a dog's facial expressions, to their body language. Are they trying to hide from me when they come in? I pay attention to all these things. It's so important in dog grooming to read a dog's body language. It's crucial. And it is the first step towards creating a comfortable and stress-free experience for them, guys. I really hope you hear. I hope that you just go back and press play, press stop, and write down some of these things that I'm saying, guys. It's going to help you with your own dog or with the dogs you groom, if you're a groomer or if you groom your own dog. So paying attention to a dog's body language throughout the grooming process gives the groomer a definite, significant advantage. Paying attention to a dog's body language, definitely. This attentiveness enhances both the safety and quality of the groom, benefiting both the dog and the groomer. And we're not done yet. Is it a lot for you? Do you want to take a break? Tell us a joke, rambling court jester. How you doing? Great to see you guys. Hey, listen, I'm going to take a break here for a second because I want to make sure you're digesting this information. This is the key to successful dog grooming. We're going to go deeper on it. I'm not done. I'm not done taking a break. How about some water? I need it. All right. You take a break. Breathe. Take all this in. It's so important. Sean, I could high five you all day. I've learned so much from you too. And this is important, and this should be taught. There should be a whole section of this when people are learning to groom dogs, and possibly it is in some courses. It wasn't in mine. It wasn't. Dog behavior, understanding it, reading it, learning when a dog is showing trust, how to get there, how to get a dog's trust. Wow. Maybe I should just create a course for that. All right, let's get back to it. I am a dork. I know. All right, so picking up where we left off. When dogs feel understood and safe, God, I love this part. I spent so much time putting this content together, guys. I should put it together in my newsletter for this week, shouldn't I? That way you will have it in writing. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be my newsletter for this week. I'm going to scratch the one I had and do it for next week. This is going to be this week's newsletter. If you're not signed up for my newsletter, it's free. I believe there's a link to my learning center in the description below, and that's where you sign up for my newsletter. All right, this will be my newsletter for this week. I just came to that decision. That's a good one. All right. When dogs feel understood and safe, they are more likely to trust the groomer, leading to a more positive relationship and smoother future sessions. when they feel understood. That's the word. Not just safe. They have to feel you understand. They're showing you all this body language on the table. Whatever it is. They're showing you. They're trying to tell you. Remember, that's the language they speak. Body language. They're trying to tell you you're not listening. That's the problem. You have to understand them. You have to look at what they're saying and back it up a bit and say, I hear you. I see you. Let's reset. And I'm going to show you how I reset dogs. We're going to talk about that in a second. But when they feel understood and safe, they are more likely to trust their groomer or you or anybody just to brush them, just to touch them. If your dog has problems going to the vet and allowing the vet to touch them, I know a lot of dogs that do. They have problems allowing a vet to touch them or give them shots. And the pet parents are so sad and so upset. And they're like, I wish they loved him. He's a great vet. But I can't make my dog love it. Well, look at the cues your dog is giving you. The dog is saying, I don't feel safe. I don't feel understood. You're not understanding what I'm saying. That's what the dog is saying. When the dog feels understood and safe, it's a different scenario. This is so important. Dogs often communicate their comfort levels, their stress or fear through subtle cues. They're going to give us cues. Do you hear me? They're not going to withhold that information from us. They tell us through their body language. They communicate their comfort levels, their stress or fear through subtle cues, such as shifting their weight, avoiding eye contact. Oh gosh. Yeah, we all know this. Tail ducking, tail tucking. Other avoidance signs. Any avoidance signs? Nope, you can't have my paw. Nope, you can't touch me there. Nope, I'm going to pin myself against the wall. That's a cue. What is he saying? What is that dog saying if he's doing that? I don't trust you. I don't know you. And I don't feel safe. So we have to make him feel safe. That's our job. The only way to change it is to make them feel safe. And by paying attention to these signals that the dog is giving us through his body language, groomers can adjust their approach using calming reset techniques when the dog demonstrates these cues to us. Cues, body language. When the dog demonstrates their body language to us, we have to figure out what they're saying. We don't speak body language. We have to learn what dog's body language means. And there's plenty of resources out there. Sean's channel is one of them. SVCC Toy Schnauzers. Sean's channel is absolutely a great resource to understand dog's body language. In fact, hey guys, if we beg Sean right now in the chat, please make a detailed video strictly about dog behavior and what it means and how we can understand it. We would be forever grateful, Sean. I know you can do it because you're probably making notes right now. I know you. You love delivering impactful content that helps dogs and people. So there you go. Don't worry about it, guys. Sean's going to make us a video. I promise she will. I know she will. And perhaps Sean and I should do another live stream on this topic. This topic is too big to just do one, in and out, and we're done. Now you understand, right? We're good now. And we're not done yet. Hold on, I got more. Okay. I have to reset myself. So by paying attention to the signals, groomers can adjust their approach using calming reset techniques when the dog demonstrates these cues to us. Remember? All right, the goal is to prevent the escalation of defensive behaviors for a dog. That's our goal. If we're already working with a dog that's reactive, or an Elsie Wong is another good friend of mine. This might be in the chat, I can't tell. Elsie only works with dogs that have trouble with their behavior. They have trouble trusting. They have these issues with grooming. So she's another one that sheds total insight on what the dog feels and how to approach it. So the goal is definitely to prevent the dog to escalate, and become defensive. That's when these behaviors are going to come out and unpredictable behavior comes out. So this allows a dog to remain in a safe and secure state of mind if they do not get to that defensive escalation place in their mind. It's important. So one thing that I do, in the grooming salon, when I'm working with a hard to handle dog, difficult, challenging dog, there's Elsie. Hi, honey. And guys, don't forget to hold the dash bar down and create a line, because I'm going to come back when I'm done giving my speech and I'm going to answer your questions, but I would like to see a line in front of them so I can definitely pull them out of the chat and get you the answers you want. So we'll get there. But right now, what I want to tell you is how I reset dogs on the table, on the grooming table. Reset them. What does that mean? Their brain. So I have an image I'd like to show you that I put together. This is, you guys might want to take a snapshot of this with your computer, your device, or whatever. This is important. I want you to think about this when you're having trouble. This is little Ellie Grace. She's mine and my mom's little miniature schnauzer. She's a little party girl. Isn't she great? Hi, Ellie. I know you're listening. So what I do when a dog is spinning circles, pulling themselves into a huddle, all these things are, protective mechanisms that they do. We stop what we were doing. If I had a tool in my hand, I'd lay it down. I don't, go and adjust the dog like, hey, no. Stop what you're doing. Stand the dog up. You see how I have my hand under Ellie's chest and under her rear. I'm encouraging her to stand and stay there. Stand and stay. Then the next thing is to wait. So a second ago, now I'm going to make this up. Ellie, I'm going to tell a lie about you. This isn't true. A second ago, Ellie was spinning circles on the table. So what did I do? I stopped what I was doing. I stood her up nicely and confidently. That gives her confidence when she is standing on the table and not cowering. Give them confidence. Stand them up. Just hold them there. Just like that. That's where the weight comes in. Just wait. What the weight is doing is resetting their brain. Okay, see, you're standing, you're looking good, you're looking proud, you're confident. Good girl. Good girl. She's doing this. We're waiting. I'm still waiting. We're still doing it. I'm not doing anything else but waiting. Wait is important. The wait is reset. It resets their mind. And now we can continue. Oh, she started spinning circles again. Ellie, stop spinning circles. Started spinning circles again. What do? Put my brush down or my clipper or whatever we're doing. Let's stand up. Good. I don't want her sitting. I don't want her laying down. I don't want her sitting. Both of those positions are more of a personal position to a dog. When they're standing, especially on a grooming table, they're working. You're teaching her, you're doing good. Now she's got confidence. Look at me. And just say, yes. Good, Ellie. Good, Ellie. And wait. And keep her standing. Just like I'm putting my hands on her right now. She's standing just like in this photograph. Just wait. We're still waiting. She's still standing. Okay, let's try it again. That's how you reset a dog. Stop what you're doing. You get them in a standing position. Ask nicely. Get them in a standing position. And you wait. It may be a minute that you wait. You're resetting them. Let's think about something else right now, Ellie. Let's think about how good you're standing here. Look at all that confidence you have. And now we're going to continue. So that is what I do over and over again in a grooming session. Is stop what I'm doing. It has to be done. And reset the dog. How do you like that? Can I get a thumbs up in the chat? A high five? Do you understand? That is the reset. And people are like, no, as soon as I go to touch her, she does, okay, well, we do it again. I'll do this all day long. You're like, Amy, I don't have time to do this all day. Okay, so I tell you what you do have time. You scheduled an hour and a half for that dog. It turns out the dog has some problems. You're reading the body language. You're doing your best to understand what the dog is trying to tell you through his body language. Okay, now I understand. The dog is not socialized to grooming. So what, are you just going to put him through it anyway? No, you're not, and you don't have to. So stop thinking that you do. Those days are over. We're over that. We know better. We all want better for dogs these days. So, there again, what do I do, Amy? I have this dog only for an hour and a half, and here we are. I haven't even gotten her in the tub yet. I'm trying to brush her out, and I can't. Well, all right, you're going to need to. Imagine how terrible it's going to go with the spinning circles that you were just, all the behavior problems you were just experiencing. What's going to happen when you get her in the tub? The same thing. What's going to happen when you go to dry her? Oh, the same thing. Well, how about that clipping that needs to happen? Oh, forget that. Right? So what I'm saying to you is you turn that hour and a half grooming session that you had scheduled and that the client is paying for, and they will still pay for it because now you're training with the dog. That's what this grooming session just turned into. So when I say you reset them as many times as you have to, what you're showing them is you're not getting angry, you're not touching them in a way that hurts them or that sends a signal to them to fear you. You're just prompting them to stand up. And when a dog stands, especially on their own, if you take your hands away, they're confident on a grooming table. So if we have to do that over and over again and say, darn it, this hour and a half turned out to be a training session, then so be it. You still charge the exact same thing. Why? Because now you went from groomer to trainer. You still spent the time and you're going to work with the dog. But here's the thing. So the owner comes back. I'm sorry, as far as I got was just working on table time. You can tell them, I do table time. What's table time? Let me tell you what table time is. Table time is when I am learning to read your dog's body language, because your dog gave me a lot of body language today, right? Like a body language, what do you mean? Well, she was not going to have it. She was not going to safely endure this. I'm not going to put her through something that is going to cause an absolute fear period in her life that she may never be able to move from. We don't want to do it. So you explain to the client, I want to work with her. I do. Yes, she stresses me out, but I can handle it. I want to work with her. So today's session ended up, and you continue to train with that dog on the table, whether you're just trying to get some brushing through, nail trim possibly, and spend the hour and a half handling the dog, teaching the dog to bond with you, teaching the dog to read you and learn to trust you, and you learning to read the dog's cues through their body language so you can better understand and be in tune with this dog. You can understand what the dog is trying to tell you. And when the dog finally tells you that they're okay, they're going to tell you that through their body language. All right? I know this is getting pretty deep, but it is the key. It is the key, understanding what a dog is trying to tell you through their body language. We're talking about especially difficult grooms, okay? Stop right there. Let's learn from this dog what cues he is giving us through his body language so that I can take a few steps back, reset myself so I can reset this dog. Now I understand. The dog just wants to be heard. He's talking to you. How is he talking to you? Somebody type it in the chat. The dog just wants to be heard. It's body language. That's how he's talking to you. God, I hope you guys are listening. All right. We're going to move on. So sometimes you do, if your grooming session, it gets to a point where the dog is clearly, now he's panicked. Okay, we're not going to push. That's going to cause a terrible thing the dog may not be able to get over. Nobody will be able to ever touch him again or whatever. We don't want to be part of that. We don't. We want to be part of rehabilitating that fear for a dog. That's what we do want to be part of. So if the session goes that way, you continue that hour and a half working with the dog on the table, learning his body language, practice the reset with the dog. The dog's going to learn that reset, and he's going to learn it feels good to his psyche. He's going to learn it. So do that for 50 times. You're working with the dog. It's table time. It's training. And then you ask the client, look, let's come back. Let's come back. I'm going to get you there. I'm going to get this dog there. But he's not ready. And we don't want to blow it for him. He has to endure a lifetime of grooming. So please trust me, pet owner. Let's become a team. Let's schedule 5 sessions next week, a half an hour apiece. And yes, I'm going to charge you. It'll total out to be a full groom at the end of the week, but maybe I won't even get the full groom done, but I'm going to start breaking apart the grooming into categories for the dog and sending him home just to get him used to it. And no, it's not the perfect situation where the dog's going to come out with the coat beautifully straightened out and perfect. No, we're just going to get him through it. And once he learns to trust you, it's like breaking a horse. Do you know what that term means? A horse that is unrideable. They don't know how to be saddled. They don't know how to have anybody ride them. They're not broke yet. Well, we have to break dogs too. And I don't mean break them down, beat up their psyche. No, I mean break the fear period. Break it down and take their body language and give them back answers that they can understand by demonstrating through them, working with them, that they don't have to feel fear. It's training. And I know groomers aren't dog trainers, but in a way we are. And we do have to teach and train these dogs to trust grooming. We do. So I guess you could say we are trainers, and we need to take it seriously. You need to take it seriously if you're a groomer. You do. So I showed you how I reset dogs. Hopefully you took a screenshot of that. Don't worry, it'll be in my newsletter this week. This is all going to be in the newsletter because that's the way to go. All right, so learning to read a dog's body language helps groomers create a positive environment. So we've established that, right? That ensures the dog feels safe and reducing the likelihood of a fear-based reaction. That's what we want to work towards. We want a dog to willingly allow us to groom them. That's the goal. So after we have some breakthroughs and we've gained that trust, that also strengthens the bond, obviously, between the groomer and the dog, leading to smoother, more enjoyable grooming sessions, all through building trust and understanding what the dog was saying to us. The dog just wants to be heard through their body language. They are talking to you with their body language, and they're clearly looking at you saying, you're not listening. Hey, this is the best way to break it down. This is truth facts. So take it in, my friends. If you notice behavior changes during a grooming session, that any behavior changes, that's your signal from the dog to notice the cues that they are offering you. And hey, those changes could be good changes. Don't forget, let's stay positive here, my friends. If you notice behavioral changes during a grooming session, it's your signal from the dog to notice the cues that they were offering you. It could be standing with confidence. The dog's saying, are you listening to my body telling you what it's telling you right now? I am confident. That means I'm not feeling fear. It's a cue. Sometimes, though, they'll go back into a huddle. That's body language, and that's a cue. They are communicating with you in the only way that they know how. Body language. It's the only way they know how to communicate with us, guys. So look for behavioral changes if we're concerned about a dog on the table. Look for these things like, freezing or stiffness, restlessness, avoidance. Avoidance. These are not positive cues the dog is giving you. They're cues telling you, please pay attention. This is how I feel right now. Okay? That's what they're telling you. Sudden aggression. That's a cue. That's them telling you how they feel. Excessive drooling or panting. They may be tolerating it, but they're stressing. That excessive drool and panting is telling you, I'm stressing here. And we don't want them to stress, and I know a lot of dogs do. Some dogs are perfect through the whole groom, but they're drooling and panting the whole time. Find a way to relax them. Find a way to hear what they're saying and try to change that for them. Try to change the drooling and panting. That's nervousness. Try to take that away from them. Trembling and shaking. Sometimes dogs shake because they're a large dog, a big dog, and their muscles are weak from standing or they're older. But sometimes dogs shake because they're scared. If they're shaking, try to find a way to reset them and start again. If they start the shaking thing again, try to reset it. Do it for them. Do it for them. You can help them reset and change their mind. Take the time to do it. And once you've worked this through with a dog, they are yours for life. I mean, in their heart, they are yours for life. They trust you are their groomer. And I guarantee you, if you share all this with a client, they are yours for life too. They will never want anybody else to touch their dog. It's you, because you listened to their dog. I'm telling you, dilated pupils. Simple as that's a sign. That's something. The dog is trying to tell you something. You're not listening. Every little thing, pay attention to it. It's body language. Don't forget about the reset. Don't forget about this. Oh my gosh, his pupils are as big as silver dollars right now. He's definitely showing me a sign, that he's feeling stress or discomfort, or he's nervous or scared. All right, now's a good moment to let's stop. Put my tool down. Let's stand. Good boy. Let's just wait. Keep my hands on him. Keep your hands on him. Just like I am here with Ellie. Just wait. He knows you're touching him, and he's starting to feel confidence. And you'll feel when they do. So in other words, you're working him, you're helping him work through it, and he knows it. And then you can continue. When you notice any sign of distress, these are your cues, guys. The dog's behavior, that's your cue. Anything the dog is doing is your cue of what is going on, and that you may need to intervene and reset the dog's mindset. Sometimes you have to do this multiple times during a grooming session. I told you, possibly that's the way it should be for the whole remainder of the grooming session. Now we're just going to do training. sometimes that's what happens. You have to discontinue the grooming session for that day. If you're unable to reconcile the dog's fear and deactivate this fear, then through our resetting techniques, then we're going to have to keep working on just that for the remainder of the grooming session. But understanding these signs allow you to intervene early and avoid escalating a complete fearful situation for a dog. This is a great topic. Are you guys thinking of some questions? I see there's a few in there. I'm not done yet. We'll get there. We'll get there. Hang on. All right. Understanding the signs are going to allow you when you should be intervening and helping the dog early before we get into a fearful episode or panic situation for a dog, in order to avoid creating fear and anxiety for a dog surrounding grooming. That requires us to take a step back when the dog shows us how he's feeling. Seriously, when the dog shows us how he's feeling, we have to take a step back and say, okay, I know what you need. Let's do a reset. Let's have a little praise. Just because you stood there because I asked you to. That's awesome. You did that for me. I understood. I asked you to do something. You did it. You understood it, and I understood it. So we understand each other now. So you're starting to speak their language. That's, little breakthroughs, little baby breakthroughs, little baby steps. Doesn't matter if it's a puppy or an adult dog. Sometimes it's what has to be done. What the dog needs is training in these moments to build his confidence and understanding of the grooming process. Reset his mind about grooming tools, methods, and you, the groomer, as well. A dog needs trust. That's what they need. They need trust, and they need you to hear them. How do they talk to you? Through their body language. So sure, we can force the dog to endure it, and many groomers feel obligated by the pet parents to somehow just make it happen. I used to feel that way. I stopped that because I saw the terror in these dogs. But groomers and pet parents need to understand the dog deserves a chance to trust grooming, and especially the groomer too. He deserves a chance to trust that groomer and to trust the grooming process. Many dogs and puppies are never given the chance to learn about grooming before being thrown into it. No fair. Time out. No fair. And these are typically the dogs that become labeled as ungroomable. Right, Elsie? She knows all about it. It's often not the dog's fault that he is uncooperative. It's our fault as humans for expecting him to believe he is safe without us first showing him he's safe. It's our fault for expecting the dog. His uncooperative behavior is not his fault. His behavior is his body language, trying to explain to you, I don't get this. I'm not safe here. It's our fault as humans for expecting him to believe that he's safe without first showing him that he's safe. The ideal age to begin grooming training with a puppy is around 8 to 12 weeks old. And it's training, grooming/training. The grooming needs are minimal at that age, just enough to start building trust, start socializing the dog to grooming, start introducing them to grooming tools and methods, and to you, and to your grooming salon. It's a different environment. They have to learn to trust it. Starting early helps puppies become accustomed to the grooming process while they're still in a crucial period for socialization. Puppies is the best time to start working with them. Sean will be the first to tell you that. And she works hard with any puppy that ever enters her facility. Ever. Whether she bred the dog or it comes to her at 2 months old, 3 months old. She's gotten dogs at 3 months old. Dazzle comes to mind. Was it Dazzle that was completely unsocialized? She has several dogs that are completely unsocialized that she gets from another breeder, and she turns them into superstars, celebrity dogs. I mean, These are celebrity dogs. Celebrities would pay to have a dog like that. Lots of money. Because Sean teaches them. But it starts with body language. Sean understands to listen and learn what the dog is giving her so she knows what to do next. She knows this. So starting early helps puppies become accustomed to the grooming process while they're still in a crucial period of time to perfectly be socialized. It's important. At that age, they are more adaptable and open to new experiences because they know everything to a puppy is a new experience. So they're adaptable. For a dog unfamiliar with grooming, it's never too late to start, but patience is definitely the key. If you're working with an older dog, begin with short, positive grooming sessions to slowly build their comfort and trust, the things that we've been talking about here, and read their body language. And if you see language that is telling you that they feel unsafe, insecure, reset them. Speak a language they can understand. The confidence that you're giving them by helping them attain that confident feeling by standing proud on the grooming table. If that's all it is standing proud, they understand that feeling that changed. They understand that. Use treats, use praise, absolutely, and gradually expose them to grooming tools to help them adjust. It's a process. Starting early or introducing it gradually to an older dog makes the experience more positive and stress-free. So with an older dog that we don't know if he has any experience with grooming. So we have to maybe assume that he doesn't, because if you don't know and you don't know the history, so you have to approach it like that you're the one introducing him and read his body language. You know, pay attention to those cues. Don't just go, I got to groom you. Stop. He's going to be like, okay, fine. I hear what you're saying, but it makes no sense to me. But you're not hearing what I'm saying with my body language. And that obviously doesn't make sense to you either. You know, we're not speaking the same language. So pay attention to their body language. We don't know if this dog has ever endured a past negative experience, say a dog that's never been groomed, or that is an adult dog that seems to be apprehensive about grooming. We don't know if that dog has endured a past negative experience. Or maybe it has sensitivity to pain. There's some area that hurts. They can't tell us. Maybe this dog is completely unfamiliar with all aspects of grooming. That's possible. You don't know because he can't tell you that. And maybe we don't know the history. The owner doesn't know the history. But what we can do is read the body language that they bring to the grooming table. Adjust our approach with them when signs of resistance are present. And take a step backward because their cues are asking us to. So instead of moving forward with the groom, take a step backward. Do the reset. Their cues are asking us to hold up, right? Take a step back. Listen to the dogs that land in your care and respect them as cooperative souls that want to learn and adapt to our ways of life. It's not pre-programmed for a dog. We have to teach them about grooming in a compassionate manner that they can relate to. We have to teach them that. Grooming isn't a natural part of a dog's life. It's ours. It's part of our life. It's not a natural part of their lives. They don't come pre-programmed to think it's okay. They actually come pre-programmed to think it's not normal. It's normal to us. It's not normal to them. It's our responsibility to guide them into this process with strong leadership, earned trust, and a deep understanding of their needs and emotions through their body language, by listening to their cues that they are giving through their body language. Body language cues, body language. Keep that in your mind. Just watch your dog. Watch your dog sometime, just right now. What are they telling you? They're laying at your feet. They're saying, I'm very content right now. I'm very happy. If somebody knocks on the door, that behavior is going to change instantly. The dog's going to say, I'm not sure if I should be concerned right now, but I'm going to be concerned right now. I'm going to jump up in the window and I'm going to see what's going on. I'm going to go tell mom. And hopefully she handles that, because I'm just going to show my body language over here going, yeah, go get him, mom. Go check that out. Whatever. Just play around with your dog, not so much with words. Watch them. Touch them. See what their reaction is. What's their body language? Learn about your dog's body language by interacting with them. Remember, they can't speak. We can speak. So it's easy for us to say, I'm not feeling well today. I just had COVID for 5 days, right? They can't say that. They speak through their body language. Try to communicate with your dog through body language only. Just have fun with that. Even if you're happy with something that they do, try to show it just through body language and posture. You know, if you're unhappy with something that they do, maybe they got into the trash, show them through body language. See if they read it. I guarantee you they will. So start practicing that. So I want to leave before we get into, I want to say one more time, grooming isn't a natural part of a dog's world. It's a natural part of our world. It's our responsibility to guide them into this process with strong leadership, earned trust, and a deep understanding of their needs and emotions. That's what I want to leave you with. Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, you got questions? Let's get to it. All right. That was a heck of a topic. I don't think I've felt this passionate about a topic in a long time. I really love this topic. So I am going to put it together in a newsletter for you guys. So you'll be able to have it. You can even print those out if you want to, but you have to sign up for the newsletter. It is free. Let me scroll out. Oh boy, I'm seeing some lines. I'm loving it. You guys, yes, Elsie says, I'm here. That's my girl, Elsie. I'm so glad you made it. Elsie, you probably just popped right in from work, didn't you? She works hard. You all work hard. Pat yourselves on the back. All of you do, whether or not you're dog groomers or not. We are all hardworking people here, aren't we? All right, I'm scrolling way up. I see a good bit of questions. All right. I think I am to the point where I have captured all the questions out. Wait, yeah. Okay. I'm so glad you guys are here. I think you really enjoyed this tonight. Oh, what's going on? Stop. All right. I'm trying to scroll. I don't want to do there. Touchy, touchy. All right. Lois says, Amy, are you getting the table you were drooling over last year at Hershey? Yeah, maybe, Lois. Oh, don't tell everybody. Yes, maybe so. Drooling, that's pretty much it. I was showing you with my body language as I was drooling that I was very excited about the table. Sweet Tea says, how to tell where to cut on dark nails. I have several videos on my YouTube channel that obviously bring you in a lot closer. I can't just verbally explain that to you in this. There is a dot in the middle when you start, it's called the quick. As you're trimming nails, when you get close to that, you'll see a little dot, whether it's a black dot or a pink dot. You don't want to get any closer if you see that dot. But hey, it's best if you watch the videos that actually show you what that looks like. So go to my channel and watch all of my nail, well, you're already on my channel, but watch all my nail trimming videos. There's many just about nails. So if that's what you need to know, I got you covered, my friend. Crafty865 says, and my male corgi will not let me trim his nails without hysteria. Needs muzzled. Yeah, that could be, but I'll tell you what. What's he trying to tell you, Crafty? He's using his body language, isn't he? He is petrified of that for some reason. And he wants you to hear him. Once he feels heard, and your body language and your resetting process, you might be able to work him through it. I have some great videos on my channel working through nail trims with dogs. Lots of videos about nails on my channel if that's what you're struggling with, guys. I get it. A lot of dogs are not going to be happy with that right away. Sweet Tea says she will let the groomer clip them, but me, she will fight and yelp. Then she doesn't trust you, Sweet Tea. Probably because you're not feeling confidence. Your dog is picking up on your body language. Dogs don't understand the words we say. They do learn words. Walk and bye-bye and car and shoes and the other dogs' names. And yes, they learn. They associate the name with seeing what it is. But it's body language. Pay attention to her body language. She's trying to tell you that she's picking up on your body language and she doesn't think you're confident. But I have videos that can help you, Sweet Tea. Amanda says, how do I remove these matted areas if only have the one blade that came with the clipper? We remove mats. Is that a 10 blade? I don't know what blade came. I have no idea what blade came with your clipper, honey. If it's a 10 blade, you have to get between the skin and the mat and shave it out. If it's a guard comb, so an attachment, you'll never get through it if it's a guard comb. But I have no idea what your setup is or what that blade is or what type of clipper. Is it even a professional clipper? It may not be. So you may not have any success regardless. Brushing keeps the mats from happening, and having regular haircuts so it doesn't get so long that it mats. So that's the advice that I would give you. Lois says, Amy, could you please speak to working with rescue dogs adopted as seniors who might not have had very much experience in training with grooming? Yes, in fact, one of our hound members has a senior sanctuary, and she's here in Pennsylvania about an hour from me. And I really would like to go visit her in her facility and help offer her maybe even better setup, anything to make grooming easier for these senior dogs. They're all senior dogs. I said, it's like a nursing home for senior dogs. She said, yeah, pretty much. I said, that is so cool. So, yes, with senior dogs, Lois, I have done videos about it. I've done a whole channel member video about senior dogs too, discussing the fact that senior dogs have thinning skin. Touching them is more sensitive. They may be more reactive to shampoos if they never had an issue with shampoos in the past. Now all of a sudden they seem to be itchy after a shampoo. Well, their skin has changed. That's the one thing. Their sight, their hearing. So they're not as trusting of the grooming process anymore because of losing some of these senses, sight and hearing. So obviously with working with senior dogs, one of the things to always make sure is that they are safely and securely on the grooming table. I don't tend to like to use the groomer's helper so much with a senior dog. I would go for more of the trach saver. Remember, we showed that last week. You can go watch the live stream last week. I told you about this, and you're going to see me using the trach saver in upcoming videos. And this is fine to use on every dog too. You can still use it with the front hitch of the groomer's helper to hitch them to the grooming arm. You would just hitch both of these areas in the front. Safely securing a dog and keeping them comfortable on a table, especially as a senior dog, is one of the most important things. Senior dogs tend to have episodes where they have little seizures, sort of, my brain went totally gone right there, like panic seizures. The word I'm looking for, stress seizures. They'll start barking methodically. Okay, don't let them do that. I mean, don't say, hey, knock it off. Take them out of the situation. They're getting themselves into a panic situation. Take them off the grooming table. Sit down with them. Just hold them. Just sit there with them. If they don't want to be held, just sit there with them. Touch them. You got to be sensitive to our senior dogs because they are losing some of their very keen senses, sight and hearing, and that makes them feel very vulnerable. Understanding that's really important. But I have a lot of different ways that I do work with my senior dogs. I tend to not ever force dry them. I would just use my stand dryer and, maybe put a happy hoodie on them and dry them that way because the noise, they just can't tolerate the feeling of anything that's not subtle anymore. Rambling Court Jester says, a dork, that's why we get along well. Oh yeah, well we're all a little dorky, that's okay. I never cared about being dorky. All right, I'm just scrolling down a little bit. I can tell there was a good bit more questions, and I want to get to them before we stroll out of here. Boy, we've had a great live stream, guys. I'm sorry to keep you here this long. I appreciate you being here this long. I know it's over an hour. I think Lois says, I think I just figured out that Squirt isn't getting enough non-grooming table time. Aha, we need to work more on the reset. Good idea, Lois. That's a great idea. She's not getting enough non-grooming table time. Table time is great, and it's bonding, building trust, you reading her body language, you helping her and her being able to tell you what her body language is and she feels heard. She's trying to, their body language is asking you to listen. Good job, Lois. Very good. Elsie Wong says, the 3 C's, calm, comfort equals cooperation. Yes, from groomer to a dog. Perfect, Elsie. Perfect advice, guys. 3 C's. Calm, comfort equals cooperation. That's the best way to describe it. That's your goal when you're working with any dog, whether they're reactive or not. Pesostic says, I'm debating whether I want to be a groomer or a trainer. Now I can be both. There you go. If you're a groomer, you're going to be both. You're going to be a trainer too. So how about that? Absolutely. We do train them. That's for sure. Grooming, teaching a dog about grooming and to trust it is training them. Sweet Tea says, that's the only way relaxing with clippers in my hand. She wants to lay down. I do not let dogs lay down during grooming sessions unless they're senior dogs. Then I understand. I have a little bit of compassion there. I do not allow them to lay down because their body, I get, if I'm brushing them or drying them, sure, they can. If they want to lay down and they're showing me body language that says, I'm confident, this is great. All right, go ahead and lay down and I'll just brush and dry you. But when I'm clipping them, I want them up for many reasons. You have to be able to see the profile of the dog to know what you're clipping. You need them to be standing. You need them to be confident when you're clipping them. But I don't let them lay down during that or scissor work. I would not. That's just me. Lois says, my journey as a rookie home groomer is full of lots of baby steps. I like to hear that, Lois. Sometimes I get impatient and I think that I should be or do better, but it takes what it takes. It takes what it takes to make it a successful groom. The cooperation with the dog. It takes what it takes. And I like that. And you'll get there. Once you break a dog, just like breaking a horse, they're yours forever. They trust you. And I have had that so many times throughout my grooming career that I knew that dog is mine. He's mine. He don't want nobody else grooming him. It's me. And there were dogs that nobody else could touch but me. The vets couldn't do anything with them. They would take them somewhere to sit on Santa's lap, and they were like, no, I ain't sitting on Santa's lap. But they come into Amy like this because we did that together. Me and the dog. We did that together. And it's special. Very special. Elsie says the handler's mindset is picked up by the dog. If the groomer is nervous, so will the dog be. Yeah, that's important. And we talked about that earlier. Elsie just, mentioned it, and she's right. It's about body language. Remember their body language. They are reading your body language too, and our vibrations, everything. If we're nervous, they can sense that. So you can't lie to a dog. You really can't. You can lie through your teeth all you want. They're not listening to your words anyway. They're reading your body language. So the mindset is picked up by the dog, absolutely. If you're in a bad mindset, your dog is going to sense that. So maybe you should do the grooming session tomorrow. If it's your dog. If you're a pet groomer, find a way to relax yourself before you get in there and start working with those dogs. So they're going to pick up on it, and they're all going to be a little uneasy about it, for sure. Pesostix says Petsotics. I think I said it right. Wow, great information. If your live streams were pre-recorded videos are like this, I'm hooked. Oh, my pre-recorded videos are great. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I put a lot into them. You should be watching them. I need to look for more informative channels on this subject and training as well. Oh, yeah, I follow several dog trainers on YouTube. Soros dog training's channel. Beckman's. I watch Beckman's a lot, and I love the guy. No Bad Dogs. Now, those are dogs that are some serious issues, but I like to watch it because I learn what he's saying. He's working with some very challenging dogs, and watching a trainer work with a challenging dog and get them to understand or be more understanding of a situation through body language and resetting the dog is pretty impressive. I love to watch it. And Ricky Flows says, yes, I had a chronic cirrhosis, so I'm really having no strength, and I have a psoriasis, and I have a breakout. But it's been better the last few years. I've worked on it with Janelle. Oh, good job. Well, I hope you're doing better. You better be. Janelle is awesome. Jazz Lager says, is it up to the dog groomer to bring up to the parent to work the dog with car rides? If the dog is relaxed on the table but anxious at drop off and pick up. Oh, Jazz Lager, it's a good idea to suggest that. They may not think about it. To work on the car rides, training, work the dog with car rides if the dog is relaxed on the grooming table. Okay, and anxious. So I think what you're saying is to train, get them to become calm in the car ride, so that the whole experience can be good for them. Sure, talk to pet parents. My pet parents have become part of my family. You get to know their kids. You end up grooming 2 or 3 of their dogs throughout the years. One passes away, they get another one. You're building a family. Thank you, Janelle. You can talk to your pet clients, and don't always talk at them. Yes, you're a professional, but having a friendship with them and building a team with them is the best scenario for you and for the dog and for them. So don't forget that our pet parents, our clients, they are like family. This is a huge trusting thing that we're doing here, grooming their dogs. Guys, I want to thank you very much for coming tonight. I love you so much. Don't worry, I'm going to put this in the newsletter for you, so you will have it all written down. And don't forget about the reset and practice these things. Like Lois said, sometimes on the grooming table without grooming. Let's practice the reset. Stand. Oh, good. Keep your hands on her. Practice these things. It's training. Pay attention to your dog's body language throughout the day. See if you can understand what they're trying to tell you. Or maybe they're not trying to say anything at all. Anyway. See if you can pick it up. Our next live from the grooming table is going to be October 13th, which is a Monday, again, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I will see you guys then, and I thank you for being here now. And in closing of this live stream, I'm going to leave you with the Farmer's Dog Super Bowl commercial that touched hearts and dog lovers all over the world. If you're interested in food for your dog that is species appropriate, tailored to a dog's specific nutrition needs. It's what Big Gus and Ellie, Grace, and Grace eat. I would love to save you 80% on your first box of the Farmer's Dog fresh food delivered to your door. Click the link in the description below and see the benefits firsthand for your pets. And guess what? Let's say it together, guys. Long live dog.